everyone comes to remember we're healing the world one heart at a time. One by one, everyone comes to remember we're healing the world one heart at a time. One by one, everyone comes to remember we're healing the world one heart at a time. One by one, everyone comes to remember we're healing the world one heart at a time. Everyone comes to remember we're healing the world one heart at a time. One by one, everyone comes to remember we're healing the world one heart at a time. One by one, everyone comes to remember we're healing the world one heart at a time. One by one, everyone comes to remember we're healing. Everyone comes to remember. One by one, everyone comes to remember we're one by one, everyone comes to remember. One by one, everyone, one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one, one.
Yeah.
Come on. I've got to do my. My name is Arthur. I am he, once and future, born to be. Celtic chieftain, knight of old, I am the story, as foretold. Loyal knights must come to me, bowing to their destiny, where'er we find them will right wrong. For this must always be our song. The cauldron and the cross unite Christian and pagan during our fight. Reunite the Celtic creed in its time of greatest need. Arrived from Avalon 87, Arthur Pendragon, June 11. But listen, there is another verse that some of you won't have heard. There are tales and there are stories of Arthur and his knights, of standing stones and circles and ancient battle sites. But the place that figures most is not a place at all. 'Tis Castle Camelot, without a castle wall. You will not find it on a map or posted on a sign, but it's there where'er we meet and partake of the wine. And that's it, a place of merriment and joy. So, Victoria.
As we gather together here in this sacred space, let me tell you the words that I heard coming from a tearful giant's stone face, calling out to me from the heel stone. In bone and stone together we've grown. These crystal giants echo our lives, and when we work with them to harmonise, then the magic comes alive. So let us go forward from this day forth, loving each other and knowing our true worth. So make it be.
So mote it be.
Well, we've done our bit. Now let's have someone else who would like to give us a reading or a poem. whilst we wait for others to arrive who are fashionably late and start the ceremony. Who would like to give us a verse?
Ash to cash to ash, stone to stone and back again, the witches of Albion like Phoenix arise. Yeah.
And someone over there?
Anyone want to share anything in the circle? How many people understand Espanol?
No.
Yeah. You certainly can.
Their brow sublime, in shelter there to bide, he turned, while rain poured down the smoking on every side. Pile of Stonehenge, so proud to hint yet to keep thy secrets, that thou lovest to stand and hear the plain resounding to the whirlwind's sweep. Inmate of lonesome nature's endless year, even if thou saw'st the giant wicker rear, to sacrifice its throngs of living men, before thy face did ever wretched appear, who in this heart had groaned with deadlier pain than he who, tempest-driven, thy shelter now would gain.
Okay, we've got to raise some energy and we're going to warm up. I want you to join hands in a circle. We're going to do the Druid's vow. Now, when we do the Druid's vow, you do not have to be overtly Druid or overtly Pagan to join us. We use the word spirit, and it can mean any deity or any belief structure that you follow. We do it 3 times, but we're going to do it quietly for a change, just to show that I don't have to shout all the time. But let's hope you all join in by the 3rd rendering, or I will shout. We swear by peace and love to stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this our sacred vow. We swear
by peace and love to stand, heart to heart and hand in hand.
Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this our sacred vow. We swear by peace and love to stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this our sacred vow. So mote it be.
Mote it be.
Now we've raised some energy and we're all feeling slightly warmer. What I'd like to do now is call not for anything specifically, not on any deity, but in generalization and in honor of the giants on whose shoulders we stand and sit, on those who have gone before us, and principally the genus loci, the spirit of this place. Now the spirit of this place is known as the guardians. They were ancient cremated human remains placed in a circle around Stonehenge in what was known as the Aubrey Holes. At a certain point in time, some of them were dug up. They were then placed into one of the holes, one of the Aubrey Holes, and it was that some years ago that was re-excavated. Now all they are is cremated human remains, pieces of burnt bone. There is nothing scientifically to be learnt from them. The archaeologists and the Druids, we may agree on opposing the tunnel, but we disagree on what should happen to those cremated human remains that were taken from here. I went for a judicial review and lost. They won. Now, one of the arguments put to me from one of the archaeologists was, come on Arthur, you don't even know and you can't even prove that they wanted to be buried there. To which I answered, you don't know that your old gran wants to be in that churchyard, but we're not digging her up, are we? Yeah. What is the difference? Those that are laid to rest should stay at rest, and it doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned, whatever belief structure, whatever religion. So, we're going to do an IAO, and we're going to do it for the return, because I'm still campaigning for them to be returned to where they were taken from. And they were originally, remember, in a circle around Stonehenge. They are the guardians, and they need to be returned. Now, what did they do with them? Well, they tell me they are in the care of Salisbury Museum. I've been in Salisbury Museum, I've seen the director, they're not there. Of course they're not there. They're probably in a storage facility in some dusty old drawer that is looked after by some other outside interested party like the Wessex Archaeology, who have such storage facilities. They shouldn't be there, they should be back in the ground here. So we're going to do an IAO to actually concentrate and bring them back. We need them to come back. And have we got a Rollo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, good. Before, yeah. Before we hand over to Rollo and start the circle proper, let's just concentrate. Concentrate, and we'll do one IAO for the Guardians, and then we'll hand over to Rollo to open the circle. Okay, let's do the IAO for the Guardians first. Are we ready? We'll do it 3 times. It's for the Return of the Guardians, Rollo.
Return of the Guardians.
Return of the Guardians, right. Okay, so 3 times, and then we'll open the circle proper and get on with it. But let's do this for the Guardians. Thank you. There endeth the warm-up pact. Go with a row.
Lovely, thank you, Arthur. Thank you. Does that mean everybody's heard about the IO? Or,
Well, we've just done it for the Guardians, the Return of the Guardians. But now we can open the circle proper.
Okay, right. Ladies and gentlemen, well, what we're going to do is open the 4 quarters, which means basically east is roughly that way, south is roughly that way, west is roughly that way, and north is roughly that way. And what we're going to do, you've met Arthur, I'm Rollo, this is Victoria, Keith, Brian, Mark, Susanna, Zoe, Catherine. Hang on, where am I? Here, by the Hillstone. It's been a long night. Have you had a good solstice, everybody?
Yes.
Good. Happy solstice.
Happy solstice.
Thank you. And anyway, so Victoria, in just a moment, is going to give an introduction to the powers of the east and of air, and at the end of that, we go hail and welcome. And then after that, this is called call and response. I'll go, may there be peace in the east, and if you all bring back to me, may there be peace in the east, and then we'll go on with that afterwards. So,
We'll work around the circle.
Right, okay. What? Okay. Yes. Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever we were on last night, we do remember which the east is just. Right. Here we go.
We call to the east and the powers of air. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Inspire our thoughts and awaken our minds to know the true power that lies deep within us all. So mote it be.
May there be peace in the east.
May there be peace in the east.
So mote it be. Lovely, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Okay, now we turn this way towards the south. And yes.
Call to the south and the powers of fire. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Inspire our passions and fire our hearts, that we may stand with strength and courage in our true glory. So mote it be.
May there be peace in the south.
May there be peace in the south.
Mote it be.
So mote it be.
Lovely, ladies and gentlemen. And now we turn towards the west.
We call to the west and the powers of water. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Flow through our emotions and wash away our fears until we feel at peace with who we truly are. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
May there be peace in the west.
May there be peace in the west.
Lovely. And now turning towards the north, which is that way. Lovely.
Call to the north and the powers of earth. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
May we honour our beautiful Mother Earth, home to us all. May we love and protect her as we rejoice in the beauties of nature. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
May there be peace in the north.
May there be peace in the north.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we return towards the centre, the most important one of all, and it goes like this. May there be peace throughout the whole world.
May there be peace throughout the whole world.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, well, you've had an introduction to the IAO from Arthur, and for those that have never heard this before, I'm going to explain why we do this. It's not the Eastern Om, it's 3 letters, I, A and O, of what we call the ancient Druidic mantram of the West. And the reason why it's those 3 letters, and this is very useful wherever you are on ancient sacred sites, the I represents the sun rising due east at the spring and autumn equinox. A represents the sun rising, as it's just about to do shortly, north, east at the summer solstice, and southeast at the winter solstice. And the O is the earth going around the sun, which we believe our ancient forefathers and foremothers knew all about. Also, because we're an ancient fertility religion, to us the I is the phallus of the solar god, the A is the beautiful legs of the earth goddess, and the O is the sound of a gorgeous cosmic lovemaking from which we all proceed. You've heard of it in the East, you've heard of it in the East. It's yin and yang, its abstract form, but to our ancestors here in these islands, we represented it as the god and goddess in their union, brought forth all living creatures and everything that is on it. So, well, we've done Earth, we've done IOs just now with Arthur, so now it's a little bit about why we do it. But first of all, we're going to do invocations to the sun and invocations to the earth, and then we're going to use those lovely IOs you've been doing for what we call world healing spells. It's traditional to have 3 wishes at these times, solstices and equinoxes, and we'll come to that in just a minute and you'll see how we do it. But first of all, we're going to call on the powers of the sun. And the way we do this is, again, as we do in the beginning, call and response. I give you a line and you repeat it back to me and it goes something like this. Great One of Heaven, Power of the Sun.
Great One of Heaven, Power of the Sun.
Come again, as of old, into this thy land.
Come again, as of old, into this thy land.
Lift up thy shining spear of light to protect us.
Lift up thy shining spear of light to protect us.
Put to flight the powers of darkness.
Put to flight the powers of darkness.
Give us fair woodlands and green fields.
Give us
Fair woodlands and green fields.
Give us blossoming orchards and ripening corn.
Give us blossoming orchards and ripening corn.
And bring us to stand beside thy stones of vision.
And bring us to stand beside thy stones of vision.
And show us the lovely realms of the gods.
And show us the lovely realms of the gods.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, shortly the sun, I'm sure, will rise. In the meantime, I'm going to ask Victoria now if she will do, and same thing again, if she does a line and we give her a line back, the invocation to the earth.
O mighty Mother of us all,
O mighty Mother of us all,
Mother of all fruitfulness,
Mother of all fruitfulness,
by bud and stem and flower and fruit,
by bud and stem and flower and fruit,
by life and love and all growing things,
by life and love and all growing things,
we call upon thee, Earth, Dana, Teredwen,
We call
upon the earth, Dana, Peregrine,
Our Lady of Nature.
Our Lady of Nature.
Rise up, we pray thee, in thy majesty and strength.
Rise up, we pray thee, in thy majesty and strength.
Throw off the dogs of war that threaten east and west.
throw
Throw
off
off the dogs of war that threaten east and west.
Bring peace to all the countryside, towns and cities.
Bring peace to all the countryside, towns and cities.
Bring peace to all the men, women and children who have suffered around the world.
Bring peace to all the men, women and children who have suffered around the world.
Almighty Mother of us all, at this solstice time we pray thee.
Almighty Mother of us all, at this solstice time we pray thee.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now what we're going to do, I'm going to pass that over there, and we're going to bless this cauldron of flowers, ladies and gentlemen, because the wonderful thing is even the most wonderful thing that perhaps man has done on this planet, the creation of Stonehenge. Nevertheless, we as human beings can't make flowers happen. That's why we honour nature. So, those lovely IOs you were doing earlier, I'm going to do three of them again, and the note is La. Unite heaven and earth in the midst of our circle here, amongst all of us together. This is where we turn to the ancient traditional three wishes that we have at this time. And the first, which we're going to do as I was again in just a minute, the first of these is for the release of Julian Assange, because he has not committed any crime. He has been held for 5 years in Belmarsh high security prison. He is a publisher and a journalist. They're threatening to extradite him to the States and put him away for 175 years for revealing the Iraq and Afghanistan dossiers that were actually happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, this IAO is what is coming up into court again for the last time in a fortnight's time, and for him not to be extradited, for him to be released, or at least sent back to Australia where he comes from, and his wife Stella and their 2 children are to be reunited again. Oh, dear, ladies and gentlemen, we can't believe we've seen this so-called British justice. But anyway, here we go. The release of Julian Assange. Notice La. So might it be.
So let it be.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now this is where it gets a bit more serious again. Because, you know, we're having this wonderful time and a wonderful solstice here at Stonehenge, but around the world that's not necessarily true for a lot of people. And at this moment we're very concerned about food aid, medical aid and all other forms of aid that can possibly be delivered to the Palestinian people. And for it to get through to them, and to be able to have it and you know, start to support their families again. And before we do this IAO, I've got something as Archdruid of Stonehenge and Britain to say to the Zionist Premier of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. You cannot build a holy land for your children on the mass graves of other people's children. Would it be? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now the IOs are for food and medicine to get in to Gaza for Palestinians get a chance to rebuild their lives now. The notice, La So might it be. Oh, lovely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Get those food trucks moving out of the desert and into where it's needed. Lovely. Okay, and this last one comes back much closer to home. In fact, is to here and to stop the Stonehenge tunnel. Because this is coming up.
Druid rising. Up rises the mighty Druid sun, the sun of revelation, up from the dust of memory, touching us with courage and hope, blessing us with the feast of harvests of all time and all space. The Druid rising is upon us, the moment of truth in our souls, here in our holiest of temples, mighty Stonehenge, reclaiming our temple from those over the millennia who have tried to tear it down and failed. Those who have tried to destroy the secret alignments of knowledge. We Druids in our hearts gather strength at this moment and know in our hearts from east to west to north and south this mighty blessing we give to the world in love and receive in thankfulness, touched by the rays of Blake's fourfold vision. The sun rises in Golgonooza, receive the virgin rays and live for purity. Long live the Druid dance of the sun.
Lovely. Okay. What should we do next? Mark, do you want to do the same thing again, one line at a time, the one you do, which is like the Druids?
Can do, that's why I've written it down, because I do it a little bit faster like that.
Very good.
Okay.
Line at a time.
Knowledge of justice.
And in the knowledge of justice, the love of it.
And in the knowledge of justice, the love of it.
And in that love, the love of all existences.
And in that love, the love of all existences.
And in the love of all existences, the love of the God and Goddess.
And in the love of all existences, the love of God and Goddess.
For all that is.
For all that is.
For all life is sacred.
For all life is sacred.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Thank you, Mark, that's super. All right, well, this is the point at which we have maybe namings, hand passings, announcements, whatever we do. Otherwise, we will go to Arthur, perhaps to do the Druids.
Yeah,
isn't it?
okay.
Which is another thing.
I'll do the Druid's vow, which I introduced you to before we opened. So we'll do it again. And you to remember